to find out. As for the first time this season, we're going to be seeing the, well, one of the Zergs from Dragon Phoenix Gaming. In the top right, in the blue, it is Dark. In the bottom left-hand corner of the map, we are going to have ourselves the red Terran player from Good Game Gaming. This one is Dream. Alright, and he's just going to straight up Proxy Racks. Well, when I said this was going to be really cool and epic and stuff, I mean, Proxy Racks is a possibility as well. And that part maybe isn't quite so cool and epic and stuff, so we'll see how this goes. See what changes in the next little while here as we get everything set up and started and everyone gets comfortable, takes their seats and so on. So yeah, 2 racks up on the top side to begin with. Let's get that underway and seeing what we can turn this all into. Obviously, Proxy Racks can turn into a long game as well. This is Glitter and Ashes, which is maybe part of the reason why. First map isn't, of course, randomized map, so when these players get sent out, they don't get sent out knowing that it's going to be Glitter and Ashes first map. They just say, oh, Dream, you go first. And then the maps are like, hey, you know, after the players have been submitted, then you find out, oh, hey, map 1, you know, the first map of this best of 2 is this, and then this, and then this. And then obviously you're like, oh, god damn it, really? Like, I've got to play Dark on Glittering? Yeah, that's a little bit unfortunate. So obviously, ranking out the Proxy Racks does start out with. Maybe does mean we'll see some non-Proxy Rack stuff a bit further down the line, maybe. There is some potential for that, at least, so yeah, I mean, maybe I'm being hopeful, but I kind of believe a little bit as we try and get this first barracks up. No bueno so far, not really having much luck with that just yet as we get this underway. Marines are obviously going to start coming back. We do get the bunker up, though, which is obviously very nice. So that's a pretty big deal to begin with. As you do see the drones continue to run. They chase these Marines all the way back. This is only a 2-Rex. Again, 6 drones enforcing so much lost mining time. I do believe is actually very good. And you've got this bunker you've got to fight through as well. Only issue is only 1 Marine in that, but even still, a couple of Lings end up dying to it, and I don't think this was all that bad. Just going to see 2 more Marines popping out. We're going to get some more Lings at the end of this. This is actually really good for Dream. Like I say, just getting a lot of these Lings, so reduces the counterattack potential. He's already had a lot of the drones initially. He had them off the mineral line for a long time. That, honestly, it really does add up. That's a huge deal. 6 drones, 7 Lings go down. Yeah, I like it. I mean, that said, the resources lost is obviously kind of similar, even favoring Dark a little bit, but Dark did have to invest into the drone pull, like I say. And that was a serious drone pull. It went quite the distance, and he's on less drones coming out of this, so, like I say, Dream has a lot of reasons to be happy right here. I feel like he can be very content with how this is gone. I'm just going to see those feelings come up this ramp. That's going to be a depot's full wall, so Factory will build 1 Hellion, will help against the Lings. You have a few Marines coming in on a counterattack. There's a Queen there, though. Doesn't look like they're going to be able to do that much with the Queen around. And so this shouldn't get too much further. We do pick off 1 more Zergling. That's going to be about it. Okay, make it a couple. Little skirmishes, right? I mean, picking off more of these Lings is nice. Because every Ling you pick off is a Ling that, you know, Dark looks at and says, huh, I might have to replace that to make sure I'm safe, you know, to make sure I'm okay here. Don't want to take too much of a risk or anything, you know. So definitely possibilities across the board. Unit's getting turned around. I mean, 2 Queens with a little bit of creep pushing further forwards now makes it much easier to turn that around as Dream finally going to have his expansion in the natural. So, expansion coming up. I mean, still has to morph into an orbital. When you look at the workers down 4, without the second orbital already, I think Dark's going to end up alright here in the economy. And he is going to start his Ling speed. That's one thing that's heavily delayed. Now, with the late Ling speed, taking the 3rd hatchery might be a pretty big issue as well. And if you can't take that 3rd hatchery, obviously that's just trouble all over for you as a Zerg player as well. A 3rd hatch is typically very, very important, so Would kind of like to see that get sorted out sooner rather than later before this really becomes like a problem or so. Queen just zoning out a little bit of an attempted drop, so the medevac will not be allowed in here to deal some damage with the Hellions. That's obviously another way in which Dream would love to try and get in and deal some damage. They're both watching this right now as the Hellions unload again. The Queens come over, and yeah, that is going to be a defense. Once more, Dark is just not going to leave any openings. He knows that this is A, popular, B, he's obviously already seen it once. Why would he then let something happen from it a second time? This time the Hellions drop in once more. The Lings still don't have speed, but they're positioned very well. Hellions are trying to fight this. The medevac obviously pushed away as it's low HP, and the Hellions die. And Dream felt so committed to this. Like, it felt like he was gonna... I understand that, you know, the idea of keeping up pressure and stuff, but I feel like this was like... He just refused to accept that it wasn't gonna work. He really just pushed and pushed and pushed, and it didn't really pay out for him at all, right? You know, this didn't work, so... Yeah, a little bit awkward there from Dream. As we do move our way in towards Stimpack, that's about to finish up from Dream. And maybe then we'll see some better harassment on the map from him. He's still only a couple workers behind, so his work count's staying reasonable. Dark does opt for a carapace only upgrade initially. Maybe keeping the path open for Lings and Roaches, or maybe just trying to accept that he's also not had the best economy throughout this game, and so carapace is just a better upgrade in general to have. Looks like we drop a Bane Nest down, so it should just be Lings, and he's just going to move into the melee upgrade a little further down the line. That's not so weird. That's not like super uncommon or anything. Like, this is fairly normal to play Carapace first, especially when you're playing like against a Marine heavy opening. This isn't really like a Marine heavy opening, like a 2-1-1 or so. But Marines are starting to come out now, and so if you, like I say, if you're just going to get one upgrade, that is the upgrade to get. I think I'm probably overcomplicating it by continuing to talk about it more than anything else. And try and drop into the main base again. Let's hope that this drop can be more successful than the last time we tried to drop here, which was the Hellions, which, like I say, they got battered away repeatedly. They were just like, they got battered back, they went back in the ball machine, boom, ball got thrown back at Dog, he battered it away once more. This is actually doing very well, though. These Marines are trading beautifully. Medevac's able to just sit here and heal because the Queens haven't gotten themselves in range. All of the Lings going down. 6 drones died as well. Great damage from Dream. Puts himself on a worker lead, army lead. Oh, and now Doc is maybe in a little bit of trouble. Doesn't have a huge bank or anything that he's been stacking, anything like that. Holy goodness, is Doc actually going to be in some trouble here then off of all of this, as Dream takes a substantial supply lead. Obviously, a big part of this will still come down to closing the game out. A supply lead is nice. What's even better is actually being able to just end the game, because big map like Glitter and Ashes, a Zerg as good as Doc, you bet he will find his way back into this game of not even mistakes, but just playing very well himself, even when he is down on supply. If this was something like Berlingrad, I feel a lot better for Dream, much easier to close the game out on Glittering. Way more difficult, as we're going to start fighting these Queens, but that's a lot of Queens. And they obviously have transfusions to keep each other healthy, so it's kind of tough to really look at them and say, yeah, we're going to break through this, but Dream give it a good go anyway. Did the best he could. Queen's still up on that high ground, and again, Marines, tanks setting up. A couple of tanks will both siege up. I was going to see a few Banes going down out the right side as well, so they just get set. As the Marines move forward, Zerglin gets taken down as well. Small aiming for a couple of Morphin Banes, Dream. Love where he's at. Does he need to go right now? No, I don't think he has to like send it like immediately. Oh, nice counterattack from Doc. If you're going to get back into it, right, these are the little things that you need. Unfortunately, it looks like there's enough units there to minimize the effect of that. Oh, Doc coming in. No Bane speed. Obviously, he made it so the Banes were kind of slow. They were kind of working on the top side, but the ones that got down the ramp didn't really do anything of effect, and so the Banes crash in. They are ineffective, and that means that actually right now, Dream is looking to just overwhelm. 1-1 against just +1 Carapace. No melee upgrade still. But target firing down Morphing Banes. We're going to get a lot of them. A few will finish, but the tank should just be able to blow those up, and the Marines turn back around. Only issue I see right now is the fact that we don't actually have really any healing left, but it doesn't matter because Dog doesn't have enough, and Good Game Gaming are going to be good game gamers and get off to a 1-0 start in this best of 7 clan match. Alright, well, this was for me one of the ones which obviously I think GGG have a good chance in. Hey, shocker. Shock freaking horror. Well, let's see if Dog can get it done on his map pick. Definitely going to be looking good for him. He's in the bottom right side. Our blue Zerg taking on the top left red Tamarin player. Oh, I forgot to do the zoom in. This is Dark! Woohoo! He's a Zerg still. But then the top left red Terran player from Good Game Gaming is, of course, up 1-0. Dream. Nice. Alright then. We'll go hatchery first. Gonna check for proxies around the right side. Obviously, you lose. You play against the proxy racks on Glitter and Ashes, and Dream's clearly got that kind of sentiment of, I don't want to play you properly on like these big maps. But why the hell wouldn't you check it for safety on Pride? I mean, yes, it's not happening, but I actually still don't hate that he checks because I do think it's very likely Dream's just like, let's just do this again, right? Do it twice. Hey, Macromancer999, thank you so much for the 26-month resub. Hitting that Prime button with style. Thank you so much for the Prime. Appreciate it. And thanks so much for supporting. Hell yeah. Thank you so much. Dream is going to play double gas, so it's not going to be any kind of 3cc. Maybe like, I think a lot of what people do on this map is they do a lot of Hellbat plays, and the reason for it is they're just like, oh, well, maybe if I can just catch you off guard, I'll do some damage, and I have enough of a lead to make it playable. But, I mean, Hellbats kind of suck. So we'll see what this plan is. Obviously, you can play like Hellion Banshee, but all this kind of stuff is depowered by the size of the map as well. Banshees don't actually have a great set of, hidden spaces to hide on this map either, so that's something else to consider. Yeah, it's actually a rough map to to play on, in all honesty. It's not easy. Double factory, that's going to be the choice. Okay, so it is going to be something sneaky from Dream. It is going to be something a little bit offbeat to try and catch Dark off guard, to try and give Dream enough of an edge to then play out into Pride of Altaris. Now, double factory, usually Blue Flame Hellions, of course. What's funny is this doesn't always lead up into mech after. A lot of the time, this actually follows up into bio. So that question will remain up in the air. We talked a lot about the idea of going mech versus bio on this map in the previous series when we just had Ryung taking on Hate Me. So, I mean, a lot of the questions apply here to Dream. Double factory early for the Blue Flame does not necessarily indicate that it's mech, like I say. It could still be bio. In fact, like I say, I would say more times it's bio than it isn't, because it's actually kind of funny as you get Blue... The whole idea here is you get Blue Flame, maybe play Blue Flame Hellions, and the Blue Flame Hellions run across the map and they deal a bunch of damage, right? Mech is actually really bad at following up from that kind of damage because it's just so slow to transition into something that can come and take advantage of killing workers. Whereas bio can transition quickly enough that even if you kind of, have to commit to Blue Flame and everything, once that damage is done, the follow-up comes soon enough that actually you can get across the map and, hurt the Zerg before they just reset from the initial damage. So, yep, there's Stim already starting, in fact, so he's wasting no time at all going to Stim while we set up into Blue Flame. Wow, that's actually a really quick Stim for this build. I didn't think it was going to come down that quickly, though. It does kind of add up and make a bit of sense. Looks reasonable in that regard. In fact, I do wonder, in the playoffs of the tournament, we actually had each team could veto one map at the start of a series, and that map couldn't be picked by the loser. of a match, right? So there are some maps which were already kind of predetermined, and some maps which were not just predetermined, but some maps are, some maps are predetermined, but then other maps, when you lose the first map, you lose a pick second map. So then if you kind of veto, you could kind of veto based on your matchups. You could say, obviously it wasn't a veto per every set of games, but it was a veto that could have some impact, which was kind of cool in general, and it was a tactical veto because you had to decide which map you really preferred not to have someone play on further down the line. Now this roach attack is going to come. Now I do believe the Hellions are across the map trying to find an opening, but it seems like they just didn't find one yet, from what I'm assuming based on the fact nothing died. We did 3 drone kills, which really isn't brilliant, and yeah, pretty good defense from Dark, who forces a bit of a reactor with the bunkers, etc. Eventually that is going to end up being cleaned out, but yeah, I mean, these couple of Ravages still firing. They want to get up here and really go. They're going to kill a siege tank. Nice. Widowmine does go off, though, so we do get at least some return of investment on the, on the siege tank, right? Something goes down for having moved up there to drop the bile. This is awkward. Dog definitely making Dream's life a little difficult early on. And, when you're playing the Zergy map, the last thing you want to be doing is being pushed behind early on because of your opponent's plays. So you want to be a little bit careful on that one. And, yeah, then go from there, of course. It's still just gathering up on the bottom right side, and a little while to still just set up here. See exactly what will be happening. Couple of Hellions coming through, just gonna grab a little bit of creep damage. I mean, any creep team you get rid of there is nice. Going back along, which was pretty quickly just to push it away. We do get a low ground of Baneling Nest on the way, so Baneling Nest coming up on the low ground at the moment, and just getting that set up. It's just gonna take these roaches and take it into kind of like a roach Ravager Baneling style for a while. That's definitely nice for progressing through the game. The later it goes, the better Banelings are going to turn out to be again compared to Roach Ravagers, so I love the fact that it's melee upgrades too. You play Roaches initially, play that defense, then you play into the Banes and everything else. To me, that makes a whole bunch of sense, so I do like it a lot. We've seen this little bit of bio, trying to find a trade or so here or there, see if anything is possible so far. Not really just yet. Just gonna be seeing the Fire Force coming around the left side and just having that Infestor popping out. It's gonna start making its way forward here, so Infestor gonna go make a little bit of a stand and help out, of course. A couple of Infestors go such a long way, right? I mean, if you can afford to get a couple mixed in, they're such a great addition to the army. Like, they can do so well. So it's really cool to be seeing already. And yeah, well, I still have just these couple of groups of units from Dream. Desperately trying to find some damage somewhere along the way so far. Seeing what is available. And yeah, I ended up doing a little bit over there, but nothing too crazy. We're going to have a fungal. That means you can't lift up these units in the medevacs for a while. We do get the lift up in the end. We do manage to save that. As now we continue down the right side and the Bioforce comes through. Clearing up some creep and opening up this right side pathway. Maybe a chance for an attack down here later. Take a position, siege up toward the natural or so. Could be kind of dangerous. Definitely some potential with a play like that. Medevacs lift up now, and we'll just be seeing the units from Dark have just been pretty consistent in making sure Dream can't break through anywhere. Dark's units continue to improve as we look at adrenal glands coming up for the melee upgrades. So just doing everything he needs to at the moment to ensure that this is continuing in the right direction for the moment. Hey Primate, thank you so much for the 23-month resub. Welcome back. Really appreciate it as we just have the Bioforce taking the center. Yeah, thanks so much for the resub. Welcome back. Good to see you. It's good to see these Marines trying to get forward, but Dark again just on point, will not let anything happen from this. So Dark doing a very good job of ensuring that Dream just can't make very good progress anywhere on the map right now, basically. Just making sure Dream is kind of stuck. Unable to really deliver on anything, and maybe just forcing Dream into a very long game. Definitely a possibility at this point. Band's gonna go morphing into the center. Roach Ravager still joining up. Just still seeing the 2-2 upgrades continuing through in the Lings. Not gonna run along. It's gonna force the Medivacs to lift out of here, and extra Banelings just continuing on through. Ultra Cavern building up as well. 2-2 upgrades continuing to play. And just seeing this army of Dark ready to run on forward. There we go. A couple of Ghosts get abducted in with tanks as well straight away. So the Viper's getting some good value. Obviously EMP'd out of energy as well after. Make sure they have absolutely nothing left in the coffers once they have, get out of there and make sure there's no additional cast going off. But yeah, they definitely did their job. They definitely caught enough stuff immediately to make that straight up worthwhile to begin with. 27 Bane still building. The Pathogen Gland still coming through. And that 2-2 set of upgrades is really not far from being completed. So that's going to be something else Dark can use to help him fight. Oh no, we're doing a little bit of a tank wiggle over here. 5 siege tanks just in trouble immediately. And at the same time, his right side base going down. Oh dear, Dream. Is this just where it starts falling apart already? Go back and kill off that Ghost. We don't quite make it to the rest of the SCVs. Bioforce gets the Nidus on the natural, so stops that at least. Dream's actually going to get a little bit of a push back as Dark gets chased down the ramp. That's nice. That's definitely steps in the right direction. If you're going to be able to take this down and make things happen, that's a big part of how it's going to be done. Take down a hatch on the right side. Drone just gets blasted from that, and just going to be seeing the Nidus on the left. In this natural, going to come back online in just a few moments as well. It's getting this Nidus back up and running. Yeah, it's not going to do too much though. Just gets cleaned out by a little bit of an A-click. Nothing too spectacular in the end, but this is obviously a pretty big army moving through from Dark. He is looking to get the base, and he gets it. Dream loses so much in the process that he just can't insta-rebuild from. I mean, Dark just builds right back up. Like, his supply is not stuck down anywhere for very long at all. So yeah, just basically build straight back into that. That's definitely a big deal. It's gonna see the Nidus over here, gonna get taken down. I mean, James been pretty good at defending the Niduses. It's just feeling like he's not quite, I mean, he's never quite comfortable, and every time a fight happens, he does lose a good chunk, and he's not quite ready to rebuild from it, and so on and so forth. Ghost is going to nipple their way through that Nidus network and look to take that down. Gets killed off there already. Would you see all these Lings going to go running to the top right-hand side? And more Lings and Ultras going to sit out on the left. Ghost getting picked away at pretty quickly. Ultra just got blown up. That carcass did like a freaking triple flip when it died. That was kind of amazing. Man, it just feels like Dark can just throw units at Dream. And to be fair, sometimes TVZ feels like this for a while, then eventually it gets better, right? And actually it becomes not so much of an issue because the Zerg trades badly and then the Terran's right back in the game. But right now, I don't feel like Dream has given us anything to really believe in, you know? To me, he's just kind of dropping off. Like, he just doesn't really have enough to stay in this. So I'd love to see what he can do to try and bounce back a little bit at least. The issue is, how does he move out to further bases than what he's got? He's already having trouble keeping the bases he has right now alive. Going anywhere else is just going to draw him even thinner on the map. So then you're basically talking about, if you want to expand, you're looking at expanding one base at a time. You're expanding when your previous base mines out. So he's never going to be rich, right? The only good news is he can keep a lower worker count, which means he can keep more army supply in play at any point in time. Like I say, it doesn't matter if Doc can just run in here and do a ton of damage. 15 SCVs, we do lose all of the banelings. So, again, it is absolutely not free to do this. It's not, never mind free, it's not even cheap to do this, but when you're denying the economy of Dream, it's so difficult for him to replenish from this happening before the next round of it arrives, and that's why this style of playing is so popular. That's why Zergs do it repeatedly. Now, this is interesting, because this is a push with no banelings ready on the other side, I believe. Without banelings ready, this push can do a lot. Now, Banes are morphing in, there's going to be 31 of them, and you'd imagine that's easily enough to overwhelm this force. Well, yeah, I do think so, but nice for Dream to at least get on the map for a few moments and give himself a chance. And now these tanks probably need a quick evacuation as well, but they're just being left to die. Medevacs, you were right there, you could have saved them. I think Dream is maybe more so thinking about typing out GG already than anything else, so that is going to do it, as Dream is going to lose map number 2 on Pride, and it is going to be Dark, tying us 1-1 in this second best of 7.